What if you could transform the choices you make and unlock your business potential? Every decision you make has the power to shift your path. You have the ability to make inspired choices that drive growth and sales. Get ready to tap into the innovative power within you. Now, here's your host of Inspired Choices for Business Growth, business optimization expert, Christine McIver.
Are you really stuck, or are you not looking at the truth of your business? Today's another one of those, ooh, this might hurt you a little bit shows. Hi, everybody. I'm Christine McIver. I'm the host of the Inspired Choices for Business Growth show. And tonight we're talking all about the truth about why your business isn't growing. And, you know, this is my interesting point of view. This is my years of being in business and working with thousands of business owners who really were surprised about what was going on in their business when they were really willing to drop the presumptions of what's happening, right? Drop the let's look outside of us and decide why our business isn't growing. And so I really want to invite you in tonight to drop your barriers, sit back, have a real deep listen. Because what if this one show could actually shift something for you in your business? What if your business is asking for you to pay attention? Now, a couple of weeks ago, I talked about talking with your business and about how your business communicates with you. If you haven't heard that show or watched that episode, please go and grab that because it will really support you, especially when it comes to what I'm going to talk about tonight. So if you have questions, I would love for you to make a comment wherever you're catching this show. If you would like to ask me a specific direct question, you're welcome to email me, Christine at christinemciver.com. That's MCIVER for McIver, or go check out my website. I've got lots of information there. And I always welcome feedback because it's what's going on for you will absolutely be something that is likely going on for many, many other people. So through our conversation, I might even learn something that I can then share in future episodes. All right, let's jump into today's show. I'm going to read you the show notes and then we're going to hit the go button. All right, so most business owners aren't stuck because they lack strategy. They're stuck because they're avoiding the truth. Told you this was going to hurt. The truth about why your business isn't growing. Today's show cuts through the noise, the fluff, and the endless do more advice to reveal what's actually holding you back. This show is going to dive into the real reasons why businesses aren't scaling, from hidden patterns and internal resistance to misaligned decisions and diluted leadership, where we're going to be honest about why you're playing small, what you're tolerating that's costing you growth, the decisions you're avoiding, and the shifts required to lead at the level your business demands. So if you're ready to stop circling the same results and start creating real momentum, this show is going to challenge you, sharpen you, and move you forward. And who doesn't want to be moved forward, right? So let's talk about, first of all, the truth about why your business isn't growing. When was the last time you sat down and did a true evaluation? Let's start with your finances. When was the last time you sat down and you wrote out every single solitary expense that you are paying for, every app that charges you once a year, every app that's only $5 a month? When was the last time you sat down and you completely did a full audit of exactly what you've paid out? And I don't mean you've sent your receipts to your bookkeeper and they create your taxes. No, that doesn't support you in understanding what's going on with your business. What you need to be doing, what every single solitary business owner needs to do, at least one, they need to look at 1/4 of their business. So here we are, it's April the 1st. This is not an April Fool's show. This is the real legit show. If every single one of you went back for the first quarter of 2026 and you made a list of all your expenses and you just put down how much you paid for each of those in every month, you have 4 columns, the names and the amounts, and you evaluated month over month from each of those expenses to the total, and you really looked at those numbers. When was the last time you did that? Because I'll tell you something, I do this every single solitary year. And what it challenges me to do is it challenges me to dive deep into, do I still really need that? Is that a reasonable amount? Is there another opportunity out there that I could be utilizing instead of this particular app, instead of this particular service? And sometimes the services that you are already paying for, they add new features, and that allows you to eliminate one of the features that you're paying for in another app. So sitting down and doing that not only helps you to evaluate, hey, what can I get rid of? What no longer works? What am I really not even using? But what it does is it shows you the truth about your expenses. Now you need to do the truth about your revenue. If you have had a lot of sales going on and you're thinking, oh my God, this is amazing. The sales are really happening. This is fantastic. But you haven't actually looked at your net profit, because each time you have a sale, perhaps it's costing you more in your expenses. If you haven't looked at your net profit month over month, you may believe because there's more sales, you may believe that you've got more revenue, that more profit you're holding on to, but that may not be the truth. So yes, hire an accountant. Yes, hire a bookkeeper, but do not, you're the CEO of your business. If you don't know specifically where your money is going and you're not doing an audit at least once a year, you may not be growing your business because of the expenses that are going out in comparison to the revenue that's coming in. You also may think, well, I have 3 clients. I've had these 3 clients that, I've had them for several years. This has been going great. That's fantastic. Your retention level is high, but what you're charging them, is that keeping up with the expenses that the prices increase? So that's one of the things that you need to do. The next thing you need to do is you need to look at your time allocations. Do you know the truth about how much time you have in your business? Do you know how much time it's taking you to do each of your tasks? Are you unable to scale your business because you have no bandwidth at the end of each day, because the way that you are creating each of your tasks, each of your steps, they're out of alignment with what it actually should be costing you per task? That's a really, really important piece. But the other really big piece is we do need a strategy. For sure, we need a strategy, but we need to keep digging deeper. We need to look at, nearly as if you're behind yourself, examining everything that you're doing in your business. What's drawing you in that's making the choices that you're making in your business? What are the decisions that you're making? What is actually the catalyst for those decisions? So many people that I work with in business are often saying, well, this is what other people are doing, or this is what I'm seeing my competition doing, or, I saw so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so online, or I took this course and this is what this person said. Listen, gather your knowledge, gather your evidence. And then you've got to check in with you. You've got to check in with your business and see if that is in alignment with you. You're the leader of your business. And if you are not examining what's the truth for you, and you're not allowing yourself and your business to guide you in the truth for you, you are going to be trying to mimic, to copy what other people are doing in their business, and you have no idea what their revenue and their expenses are. And I'm going to tell you something. There has been many, many people that have appeared to be wealthy, to be doing really well in business, but their bottom line is they're in the red. They absolutely owe money. I know this. I had a business coach once, and I was, following along with this business coach's guidance. And I come to find out, after about 6 months of working with this individual, through a conversation, that they were not making money, that they actually had to stop some of the creations that they were doing because of the expenses involved, because they were not making money. So it's so important that you understand that there are a lot of business owners, a lot of leaders out there that are putting on a mask. And why do they put on the mask? Because they want to attract somebody that believes that they're worth the value that they've decided, not that's actually what they're creating in their business, so that they will attract more business so they can get out of the red. Okay. I am not saying that there are people out here that are actually doing the work, that are actually worth what they're saying. But I am saying that your litmus test is you and your business. You've got to check in with you and your business, because if you're not, you're missing vital information that can absolutely lead you into the future of what you desire. So you may think that you know why your business isn't growing. I don't have enough sales. I don't have enough people. My algorithm, I don't have enough likes. You may believe you know why, and it may not be true. So what if you actually took the time to spend some time with you and spend some time with your business and really found out what is happening within your business and within you? All right. So I've got a number of things that I want to go over with you today. A number of points that I want you to pay attention to, and we're going to dive in. And as usual, we're going to have our regular breaks through the show. But I want you to come back. I want you to come back because this is so important to me that each and every one of the businesses that are out there are really looking at the truth. Take the blinders off. Be willing to have uncomfortable conversations. Be willing to hear the truth from your coach, from your accountant, from the people around you that know the truth. Allow yourself to be vulnerable enough to acknowledge the truth and then be willing to lean in and change it. Because you know you deserve to have success in your life. You deserve to have success in your business. And here's something that we don't say enough. When you're successful in your business, you can then contribute to the world, to your family, and to other business owners in a very, very positive way. You have a responsibility to be successful. You have a responsibility to make good money. Great money. It's not just about your dreams. It's about your responsibility and how you contribute in the world. So even if you're like many, many people that I know that you're working out of your home, you have a home office, you don't have any employees perhaps, or any employees within the same physical work environment, you still have a responsibility to show up and be successful. All right. We are going to, before I jump into my list, we're going to go for our first break of the show. When we get back, we're going to dive deep into this list. I would love to, again, have you to reach out, send me your questions, your comments, Christine at ChristineMcIver.com. If you're looking for a no fluff, give it to you direct, supportive cheerleader, business owner to coach you to optimize what you're doing in your business, you can reach out to me, of course, and let's have a chat. Let's see if we've got a match. The first 30 minutes is always a gift to you, and we'll learn about each other, and we'll both see if it would be a match for each other. So you're listening to Inspired Choices for Business Growth. I'm your host, Christine McIver. We're on the Inspired Choices Network. We're talking about the truth about why your business isn't growing, and we'll be right back.
What if every business decision you made was aligned with a clear vision for your future success? Imagine the impact on your growth and profitability. On Inspired Choices for Business Growth, business optimization expert Christine McIver challenges you to focus your decisions on the bigger picture, helping you align your actions with the future you want for your business and yourself. With her expert insights and no-holds-barred approach, Christine guides you to optimize your business strategies for sustained growth and success. Ready to make choices that drive your business forward? Tune in now to start shaping your future today.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is Inspired Choices for Business Growth with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at christinemciver.com. Now, back to the program.
All right, let's dive in. Let's dive in deeply into the truth about why your business isn't growing. And yeah, these might hurt. Some of these might really be like, oh, Christine, seriously? But we've got to do this. And this is not for just somebody whose finances aren't in order. This is for every single solitary business owner, including myself. We've got to continue to look at this. We've got to continue to challenge ourselves, because the fact of the matter is we can get distracted very, very easily in the world. We've got a lot of intensity out there, and a lot of us feel like, oh my gosh, I'm lucky to be getting by. That's not untrue. However, you've got to take the time, you've got to carve out some time to work inside your business, to really evaluate the truth of what's happening and be willing to have those deep conversations that can change everything for you. I know that over the years, there's been some very difficult conversations that I've had, and they hurt. My ego hurt. I'll tell you, when somebody kind of showed the truth to me, and I can remember this one particular conversation. I'm not going to name the person, but they just gave it to me hard and fast. And it was like, oh God. And I walked away and I was mad for about 20 minutes. And then there was this voice inside of me that said, what if she's right? What if she's right? And I went and I really started to dive into it. I really started to look at it. And do you know that one conversation changed the entire trajectory of my business? It seriously did. I started to be straightforward with myself and stop coming from the space of, but this is something I created and I already love it and da 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 da. And it's like, no, if you're somebody like me who loves to create something and have it be done and check a box, how many box checkers are out there? You like to check a box and you like to be done with it. Well, this is going to challenge you, because we can't operate a business of one and done. Okay, that's done. I never have to look at that again. We've got to continually be coming back and looking again and again. And the great thing is you get to check more boxes, but you've got to keep evaluating. You can't make a strategy on old information. You can't create a new strategy. You can't create new possibilities. And if you're a creator, and many of us are that are in our own business, if you're a creator, you've got to keep coming back and reevaluating and reevaluating. It's essential for scaling and really finding out what's working and what's not working. So, all right. So number one, you don't have a strategy problem. You have an avoidance problem. So most entrepreneurs are consuming more strategies than they're actually executing on. I know for a fact that probably on average, business owners that are desiring more, they come across somebody, or somebody emails them, or a follower they used to follow, a business coach, a business leader. Everybody's out here trying to share what they believe is valuable. Whether it is or it isn't, as I said before, is based on what your needs are. But people are out here and it sounds good, right? And especially, and pay attention to this, you're going to say yes to programs. You're going to say yes to joining events. You're going to say yes to things if you are really waning in your business, because we just have this feeling inside of us, so many of us, that we need somebody else's help in order for us to grow. Pardon me. And that may be true. Wow. That may be true. However, You've got to take this in and you've got to look at the truth of what is happening for you. So you may have a an actual avoidance problem. You're out here and you're gathering all of these courses and all this information, and then you're going into overwhelm. You're not actually executing on the one that really speaks to you because you've got all these other things that you're doing. And honestly, many business owners are half-assing new strategies, new possibilities, ways of doing things. Well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I want to do this and I want to do this. One of the best things you can do is slow down, look at what you've got, and really be straight up with yourself. I took this one course. It was $5,000. I swear to God, I'm going to get this hair out of my mouth. If you're just listening, I was trying to find a hair that was in my mouth. I took this one course. It was $5,000. And I really checked in and I kept getting a yes, a yes, a yes. I took it, $5,000. I spent this money. And at the end of that course, I just shook my head and I was like, oh my God, this was completely useless for me. This is not something that I'm going to use any of this material. I actually deleted it all. And that was such a great lesson for me to really lean in and pay attention to what my business is asking for. I know that when I said yes to that, I was feeling lack within me. And I felt like I needed somebody else to help me with my lack. I didn't actually check in on what my business wanted and what my business was asking for. I was looking outside of myself as opposed to spending time and looking in. And we all do that. We do this avoidance of what's really going on, what we know. And if you aren't sure, if you don't know, spend some time with a coach, spend some money on a coach that works with you for even 30 minutes, that can challenge you to how to look at the truth of what's happening for you. I'm telling you, you will save thousands of hours and money if you will be willing to look at what you are avoiding. So when you are willing to look at that, when you're willing to dive into that, you're going to understand that, first of all, avoidance is uncomfortable. And the actions that we actually need to make will move the needle. But if we're always looking outside, we're not going to pay attention to the truth of what's going on within us. So again, you don't have a strategy problem, you have an avoidance problem. Even if your strategy is connect with 2 people a day, make one offer and bring that offer to the world, right? 2 people a day, one offer, 2 people a day, one offer, 2 people a day, one offer, 2 people a day, 60 people a month. 60 people a month that you connect with and you've got one offer, but you're damn good at that offer. I'm telling you, you will grow your business faster because you will hone in on that, and you will hone in your expertise, and you will get that crafted so well that those 2 people a day that you've been contacting, the numbers of yeses will start to increase. Be willing to start small. Be willing to really look at what's happening and how you can grow your business one step at a time. We all think because everybody wants to go viral and everybody's got all this, all these big strategies and how they can grow their businesses so fast and everything. You know what? 90% of that stuff is bullshit. Don't buy that crap. I want you to sit down. I want you to look at how much money do I require for my life, for my family, and to pay my business expenses. How much money do I require? Take that money and divide it by 12, then divide that by 4.3, then divide that by 5. That's going to get you down. My producer just said $10 billion. Okay, darling. Divide it by 12, divide it by 4.3, and then divide it by 5. That's how much money you need to make every day. So if you got, let's say you were doing, I'm going to do it with my calculator right now to show you how simple this seriously is. And I do this with every single one of my clients. So let's say you want to make $75,000 a year. Okay. 75,000 divided by 12 divided by 4.3 divided by 5, that works out to $290.69. So $291 a day. If your offer is 300, you need one client a day. One client a day. And if your offer isn't that much, how many clients would you need? And is it time to look at your pricing? But break it down and be realistic, and then take your expertise and work it. But don't avoid the problem of what you've been doing and spending money where it doesn't need to be spent, following 16 different people that are saying you should do this and you should do that. When people say you should do this, they're really trying to get you to pay attention to what they're doing as opposed to you examining in. I have lots of ideas of what will work, but what I always invite clients into is what's going to work for you. What isn't working for you? Let's look at that. Let's look at the facts in front of you and what would really light you up in your business and some ideas of what you could do. You following the shoulds are leaders that are trying to be leaders and trying to get you to follow their playbook. You have your own playbook. Why don't you read it? All right. Number 2, the reason that the truth about why your business isn't growing, you're tolerating more than you realize. Oh my God, this is a really, really good one. You're tolerating more than you realize. You're tolerating crap from clients. You're tolerating crap from team members, employees. You're tolerating more of your own habits. You're tolerating your poor pricing. What you tolerate is quietly draining your growth. So, you might need to have a really courageous conversation with some clients. Maybe you have a client that, if you're in this place of desperation around having more clients and more money, you can sometimes tolerate clients who are asking you to do twice as much as what they're paying for. And you in your mind are thinking, oh, I need clients, so I have to keep them. Is that true? Do you have to keep them? Because if you actually let go of that client, how would you feel energetically? How much space would come in your mind? How would your nervous system be? And how much space would you have on the clock to be able to engage with other people, to be able to engage and really speak to other possible future clients? How much time would you have to be more creative in your business and to be able to take the time to step back and look at what you're doing, right? So many times we tolerate what we think we can't get rid of because it's bringing us the money. Well, that's not always true. And in fact, so many times that's actually the opposite. And I know that, the energy that drains when we have clients that need to go, when we have team members that need to go, is astronomical. I can remember probably a year and a half ago, I had a team member that was working on the team. And when they started out, they were gangbusters, just amazing and on time. And, just everything was bang, 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 bang. And then things started to change drastically. And I didn't want to see that. I didn't want to see how poor the performance had fallen. And when it came down to having the conversation, this person was very resentful because they felt like they were, they weren't treated the way that they should have been treated, but their behavior had changed and I hadn't been willing to address it, which really I kicked my own ass because I was in HR for so many years. I should have been willing to look at that. But when it's your own business, it's really hard to have those conversations because then we're the ones that have to execute on the conversations. We're the ones that have to be straight up and make that final decision of you're no longer a fit and let the person go. It's so important that you look at what is draining your energy, what is draining your growth. Are you choosing to do something on a regular basis? Are your habits impacting your business? Are you lying to yourself? Are you giving maybe family members excuses to interrupt you in your business that you've not been willing to straight up say, you know what, between this hour and this hour, I'm working? When I had children at home, I would have my door shut. And that meant You don't get to knock on that door. You don't get to come in. If there's an emergency, they got to shove a little piece of paper under the door. And they did not do that very often because they knew that they were in big problems. So what are you doing in your business that's actually a poor habit that's impacting you? Just be honest with yourself. We all know. I'm sure as soon as I said it, the first thing popped into your mind. That's the habit you need to let go of. All right, my friends, we are up to our next break of the show. I have a lot more to share with you. I hope you're making notes because these things can be game changers for you and the joy and the pleasure you can have in your business, how your bank account will begin to reflect that, and how you're going to feel confidence in your business like you've never felt before. So you're listening to Inspired Choices for Business Growth. I'm your host, Christine McIver, and we will be right back after this commercial break.
What if every business decision you made was aligned with a clear vision for your future success? Imagine the impact on your growth and profitability. On Inspired Choices for Business Growth, business optimization expert Christine McIver challenges you to focus your decisions on the bigger picture, helping you align your actions with the future you want for your business and yourself. With her expert insights and no-holds-barred approach, Christine guides you to optimize your business strategies for sustained growth and success. Ready to make choices that drive your business forward? Tune in now to start shaping your future today.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is Inspired Choices for Business Growth with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at christinemciver.com. Now, back to the program.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. If you are listening in the replay, I would love for you to go over to iTunes and give this episode a 5-star review. It would mean the world to me. And when you do that, you help to actually move the content out to the people out there that are looking for this content, that really, really need it. It makes a world of difference for anyone you're listening to when you give them a review. And it really does help us to rise above the noise that's in the world. So I very, very much appreciate that. So let's get back into the show tonight. We're talking about the truth about why your business isn't growing. Are you willing to actually hear the truth, to acknowledge the truth, and then to take action in that direction? Or are you really avoiding being uncomfortable? If you are in your own business, I am telling you right now, you've got to be willing to be uncomfortable. You're going to grow who you are, how you operate in the world, how you communicate, how you interact with people, how you function with your finances in such a different way when you go into your own business. Being in your own business challenges you, and it's one of the best things to do if you want to grow who you are. Let go of triggers that you have. You know, when I got into business, I wanted so much more for people to like me. And I avoided so many conversations because I didn't want to upset the person. I didn't want them to say something bad about me. I didn't want them to, avoid being my client. And that's where I started to really get real with myself. And I needed to say, okay, whose back do you actually have? When we're avoiding conversations, when we're avoiding the truth, we don't have our own back, and we certainly don't have our businesses back. So this is crucial that we stop avoiding and we start diving in deeper to the truth of what's going on. So our next point is you're playing to be liked instead of leading. Oh my gosh. How very, very true is that? We oftentimes, when we are playing in to be liked, so just so you can pay attention to what you're doing, do you water down your messages? Do you go, oh, I'm going to like say this and da 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 da, and then you go, whoops, and you delete, and you come back and you soften it, or you go into chat and you say, please give me a sweet way of saying this, or you try to over deliver, right? You deliver more and you deliver more and you deliver more. And we've already talked about this. Or are you undercharging? Are you doing these things because you prefer to be liked instead of lead? You're the leader in your life. You're the leader in your business, and you're the leader of your team. So if you have team members, if you've hired people to be part of your team, they are depending upon you to lead. And if you are leading by getting everybody to like you, you're not actually doing the best you can for yourself, for your business, for your bank account, or for your team. So pay attention. When I'm messaging people, when I'm having conversations, am I going out of my way to do things so that I soften it, so that they like me? And I'm not saying you need to be like slap them across the head. I'm not talking about that. But are you being clear and concise and direct and really covering what you and your business need? If you cringe at the thought of increasing your pricing by 10% right now, just the idea of that, your pricing needs to be changed. I'll tell you why. Because if you value what you're doing and you know what you deliver is truly of value to that price point, you won't cringe at 10% more. You won't cringe at 10% more because you know you bring value to the table. I'm not saying overprice. That's not what I'm saying at all. But if you can't even imagine 10% more, you're afraid. And having fear mixed in your pricing will absolutely have you distracted on what you're doing in your business. And it's showing you're avoiding the truth of something within you. A lot of times, this is a belief system that you picked up from somebody else out there. You've got personal issues intermingled with your business decisions, and they are absolutely stopping your business from growing. You're the major player. Your belief systems, your triggers, everything about you and what's inside of your mind and your heart, everything about you is what is driving your business. So you've got to be willing to look at this over and over and over again. And yeah, it can be painful, but it also can be amazingly rewarding. So today, because I have done a ton of work in this area with myself, today when I get a trigger, it's loud because I've kind of cleared away avoidance. It's loud. I will spend some time in quiet with it. I will challenge myself about it. I will work with my coach about it. And I'm willing to be really straightforward with my coach and go, okay, this is what's going on for me right now. And I'm telling you, I am super direct about what's going on because I have a greater desire to be the best that I can for me and my business than I care about what my coach thinks about me. And it's so awesome. It's so freeing to just be able to come forth and say, this is what's going on. I'm ticked off about this, or I'm this, or I'm that. And my coach will call me on it, which is fantastic. So you've got to be willing to lead. And, sometimes when you're seeking approval, you remind yourself, I'm not being in leadership right now. And that's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. It may cost you in revenue. It may cost you in clients, and it may cost you in authority. But when you get to the clarity of this is when your business can start to grow and scale. And this is when you can actually relax and enjoy the journey, not be running around uncomfortable and nervous. Like when you are avoiding the truth of what you know inside of you, When you're avoiding looking at that, having conversations about it and changing it, you know this. You absolutely know this. And you will be exhausted. You will be frustrated. You will be easily agitated. And every month you're going to look at your numbers and you may feel more discouraged. You may even want to walk away from your business. Before you walk away from your business, and you're the only one that knows if you should or you shouldn't, but before you do, I would really love for you to start looking at what I'm talking about tonight. Because a person that's in their own business can change so much in their world and other people's world. All right. The next point is your business can only grow to the level you're willing to lead. So are you avoiding leading? And leading in your business is looking at, okay, I've hit my ceiling on my ability here, or I've hit my ceiling on knowing what next to do, or I don't have the thoughts about what the next step is, or I don't want to do these things, and maybe this is why, right? You being willing to lead is being willing to examine what needs changing, being willing to put your hand up and ask for help, and being willing to have those courageous conversations. You're leading yourself. That's the first person you're leading. And you got to be willing to look at that. So, your growth really requires becoming someone who can hold more responsibility, who can hold more visibility and more decision making. If you're avoiding these things, you're not leading. You're actually doing avoidance big time. So what are you willing to begin to change? You don't have to change all of this at once, but as you begin to take this step forward to lead yourself in your business, things will begin to shift. Of course, change will be uncomfortable at first. You're going to want to go back into those habits of maybe avoidance or following somebody else or listening to what somebody else says. It's really easy when you listen to somebody else. It's super, super easy to then be able to turn around and blame them, right? No. This is your business. The only person that's responsible for the success or the challenges is you. And the only person that can change it is also you. It's time to have those courageous conversations with yourself. You're going to be so impressed once you start to unlock all of this. So another point is you're busy, but not effective. Are you doing busy work? Are you constantly active, but creating this illusion of progress? Do you do the examination of your business? Or are you too caught up in the finer details of this and this and this? I know I've got to challenge myself. Sometimes I just want to get lost in a spreadsheet. It's like, what are you doing? Enough. You don't have to keep being in here and change everything to bold and widen the cells and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, everybody can be busy making, but that doesn't mean that you're actually growing your business. If your actions aren't tied to revenue driving outcomes, you're spinning. You're absolutely not scaling. So you got to look at that. What's the truth of what I'm doing with my day? What's the truth of what I want to be doing? And what I know can truly change something for my business, right? If you're avoiding decisions that would change everything, that's why your business is not growing. Are you avoiding decisions? Even if you don't know what the decision is, are you avoiding it? Are you saying later? Are you avoiding hiring people that you should be hiring that can make your business do the repeatable tasks where you can then go out and have those better conversations where you can spend time reviewing your books, reviewing your strategy? Are you avoiding maybe, changing your pricing or niching into what would really create greater emphasis on your expertise? What are you avoiding that if you didn't avoid would actually begin to grow you and your bank account? And what are you, the longer you delay key decisions, the longer your business is going to stay stuck. So if you're really willing to come unstuck in your business, start looking at these decisions. And if you don't know what those decisions are, just ask yourself, what are the decisions that I'm avoiding? Ask your business, what decisions am I avoiding? It will start to show you. It really, really will. And again, go back and listen to that show about how to communicate with your business. All right, we are up to our final break of the show. I've got quite a bit more, so I'll be going quite quickly when we come back. But again, please reach out to me, Christine, at ChristineMcIver.com. I would love to support you in growing your business because this is what I love doing, and I'm very good at it. And you know what? When you feel confident in the way that you operate in your business, you don't have a problem saying that you're good at what you do. All right, my friends, you're listening to Inspired Choices for Business Growth on the Inspired Choices Network. I'm Christine McIver. We'll be right back.
What if every business decision you made was aligned with a clear vision for your future success? Imagine the impact on your growth and profitability. On Inspired Choices for Business Growth, business optimization expert Christine McIver challenges you to focus your decisions on the bigger picture, helping you align your actions with the future you want for your business and yourself. With her expert insights and no-holds-barred approach, Christine guides you to optimize your business strategies for sustained growth and success. Ready to make choices that drive your business forward? Tune in now to start shaping your future today.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is Inspired Choices for Business Growth with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at ChristineMcIver.com. Now, back to the program.
Okay, my friends, we are in the last lap of the show. We're talking all about the truth about why your business isn't growing. And bottom line is, it's not growing because of you. Sorry, but it is going to grow because of you as well. And it's going to prosper and be a lot more fun because of you and what you're going to choose. So the next point I want to get to, and this is like, oh my God, this is so true, is you're overcomplicating what should be simple. Oh my goodness. I talk to so many people and share ideas with them. And it's fascinating to me how they can go off in 16 different directions about what they're going to need to do and how they're going to need to do it. And what about this? And what about this? And what about this? And what about this? Business doesn't need to be complicated. Business doesn't need to have 1,000 different things happening. Yes, we've got lots of choices around how we can communicate and the things that we can create, but you don't have to do all the things that are available out there. You need to keep it simple. When I first started in my business, I would communicate with people via the telephone. I would message people and ask them if they were interested in what I did. And we would communicate via phone and then via text. I wasn't going out, putting out hundreds of emails and hundreds of posts in the world. You know, I wasn't running around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to do all the things in order to grow my business. That doesn't make any sense. When a lot of people now understand more about business services and so on that are available, but you don't need to be putting out 10, 20 emails a month. You don't need to be putting out a newsletter 2 or 3 times a week. You don't need to be creating the funnels and have more platforms and have all sorts of different domains and be going in 6 directions. That is crazy making. Now, you may get to a point where you have a large corporation and you're able to scale. It's like you do those things as you are scaling. Your business grows a little bit. You possibly can add something else. This is how you grow your business. Today, I have 5 business streams. But this is after being in business since 2008. So I'm coming close to being in business now for close to 20 years. Yes, my business has grown. Yes, I have a lot more, but that's not where you need to be. Where you need to be with your business is what we were talking about. Step number one is what is coming in? What are the expenses? What's the revenue? Where are you at? Keep it simple. Stop making it so complicated by thinking you have to do the 100 things. Or, I know that this is a podcast that you are likely listening to or watching. You don't have to be on every podcast around the world in order for you to be able to grow your business. What you need to be doing, first and foremost, is creating true connection, is getting out there and meeting people. And you can be doing it online. Doesn't mean you need to be in 50 different groups. Doesn't mean you need to be on social media 24/7. I'm on social media, but I pop in for 2 or 3 minutes and I pop out. I spend the majority of my time working with my clients, with my team, and in my business. That's where I spend the majority of my time, not online, because I want to create true connection. I don't want to just be out there and be more of the noise that's there. So that's our second last point, or our third last point, rather. The second last point is you're not fully available for the level of success you say you want. Ooh, that one is hot, right? You say you want this level of success, but you haven't created clarity, you haven't created time, you haven't created space, and you haven't created a belief system that knows that you can have that level of success, that level of finances. Especially go back to when I said a 10% increase, you cringed. If you cringed at that, you're not ready. Doesn't mean you won't be, doesn't mean you can't be. It means you're not ready, and you got to start looking at the whys of that. And finally, you haven't fully owned that it's on you. This is truly the hardest truth and it is the most powerful one, but it's the one that so many people avoid. They buy into, well, I'm doing all the things. I'm running here, I'm running there, I'm posting here, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I should be, I deserve it. Sometimes that word deserve kind of makes me cringe because it's like, you don't deserve something just because you've put time in. What is actually available to you is something that you have created and something that you really own. You own that you've got to change things, and you own that you've created something that is powerful. This is what is going to change your business and take you out of just really chasing the money and really having it create within you and within your business. My friends, I gave you a lot of things to think about tonight, but it's so critical that you spend that time looking at the truth of what's happening in your business so you can really acknowledge why your business isn't growing. And what I know to be true is you can change this. You can change it quite quickly, but it requires you to slow down so you can speed up. It requires you to follow what you know, not everybody else out there. So you don't need more information. You need more honesty about what you're avoiding and the courage to change it. This is what I know to be absolutely true. And this is what I also know can make such a difference in how you feel within you, how you feel within yourself on a daily basis, so you can enjoy your business and have more pleasure than you've ever had before. I believe strongly in paying attention to your pleasure meter, because if you're not having pleasure in your business at least 2 or 3 times a week, there's some attention that needs to be given to what you're doing, what you're thinking, what you're saying, and how you're acting in your business. Your business is here to create pleasure each and every day, and definitely in your life. So my friends, I do hope you listen to what I've said. I do hope you take some action. Again, reach out, Christine at ChristineMcIver.com. I'd love to have a conversation with you. And remember, until next week, you can always make another choice. Take good care, my friends. Bye for now.
Thank you for tuning in to Inspired Choices for Business Growth. Christine McIver will be back next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Be sure to join us again for you and your business. Until then, remember to make the choices that align with your true desires. This is your business, and it's time to create the future you truly want.